5. It's fall. It's fall. We're vibing. I'm vibing.
Molly's vibing. I'm still waking up. I gotta get back into it.
It's the first day of fall.
Yay! It did feel nice out.
We got our pumpkin beers.
I'm just tired.
Well, I'm tired too, but I'm an entertainer.
Entertainer at heart.
Yes.
I'll get there. Here. You remember his name?
Oh, is this the Deveronian?
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at his little head. Laptinek. No, that's
nope.
the song. Labrick?
Closer. Labria.
Labria.
Do you remember his full name that no one knows how to spell except for Marie?
No, I do not.
Cardu Simalak.
What's up, everyone? Hello, hello. How is everyone? Who's our sponsor?
Oh, Jane Dalton is our
Hey.
live stream sponsor of the week. Thank you, Jane.
Thanks, Jane. I'm sure we'll see Jane pop in here at some point. Yeah, I don't know, like, I just feel like I'm in a pretty good mood. Just because it's fall. Like, we've been watching some spooky movies, and yeah, the weather is not as hot. It's still really hot and humid, but
It felt pretty good today, and then it rained all over us.
Yeah,
when we were walking Hilo.
We were walking Hilo, and I was like, oh, the weather's better today. And like on the way back, it just opened up, and it was pouring down rain on us.
It was like our turnaround point, and it started to rain a little bit, and we were able to turn around and get out of it, but we knew it was going to catch up to us eventually.
It was like a little tiny tornado. It was really windy.
It wasn't a tornado.
It was fun. It was a lot of good fun. I think it's in the title. We are going to talk about visions just throughout the evening.
I just figured if anyone had questions. We're doing our full visions discussion live stream tomorrow with Ruben, my anime Sherpa, who every time I talk about like, oh, I got a list of anime to watch, he's the one that gave me those recommendations. So we're going to have him on to talk about anime and visions with us. But, yay! You decided to make him kind of happy?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He's happy it's fall, too.
Yeah. But we're not going to stop people from talking about visions, so maybe we'll try to keep it a little vague, not like over spoilers, but there's also like not a lot to spoil,
Nah.
I would guess.
I
guess that it depends on the Ninth Jedi might have some stuff that
we're probably going to drop spoilers, so if you don't...
I was going to try not. I just said I was going to try not to.
Well, we'll see how that goes. It's hard
Molly's
not to talk
got,
about...
like 2 sips of beer, and she's like,
I haven't
nope,
even sipped
no way.
it yet. I haven't even sipped it yet. It's hard to talk about these without spoiling them because they're so short.
Yeah. I was going to try to be considerate and vague. Molly doesn't care about your feelings.
Yeah, I mean, in the chat, just like don't just like start typing out what happens in every story, but
Right.
We'll talk about stuff. Oh yeah, hi Jane. Thanks for being our sponsor for the live stream.
Hey Jane, sponsor Jane.
Oh, we got 2 super chats right off the bat from Chris Fields. The first one says, been a bit since I've been able to catch a live stream, but can today. Hi. Been debating this set, not sure where or how to display it though. Curious to see what you guys do with it. Yeah, this is a weird one to display because it's big and flat.
Me too. I'm curious to see what we do with it as well. Probably gonna keep it shut in this format. Like, you can open it up and it becomes a playset, which is cool. But I'll probably keep it shut. I might move the Ark of the Covenant somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything's got to move around.
Our shelves are getting a little busy up there.
You want to hang this one from the ceiling?
That's
always your answer.
This is like the worst one to try to do that with.
That's why I'm just...
Or we could hang it upside down and glue everyone down.
I just wouldn't be surprised if that was your suggestion. I know what we can do.
Oh, someone asked when the Ronin book comes out.
October 12th.
I'll be interested to see what people think of the book and like just that whole story after having read the story, because there's a lot because Alex has already read it. There's a lot about that first Visions episode that's explained in that book.
Yeah. Yeah, we're technically not allowed to talk about it until, I mean, we can say...
I wasn't going to talk about the book.
We just can't do any review content. It's so weird and nebulous what they're like, you can do social reactions, but you can't review it. And I'm like, what does that mean? But yeah, it comes out on the 12th. It means
like a vague tweet saying you liked it or not.
We are allowed to say anything about it on Tuesday, I think, and that's when our review will come out.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. But it was fun watching the duel, having some of that extra knowledge. Not that you need it, like the duel is perfectly enjoyable without any backstory, but I still thought it was fun. Because he's a character that you're immediately like, what is his deal?
Mm-hmm. I'll read Chris's second super chat. Since you guys are on Bricklink now, any Brick Vault sets you're eyeing? I still vouch for the Spaceballs Eagle 1. Also have their X-Wing, U-Wing, and Arc 170, all amazing and very detailed.
I looked at some of the Expanse sets. I've seen people with those on display, like the Rocinante and various MCR and gunships and stuff, and I think those all look really cool. So maybe I'll pick up one of those one day. Get a non-Star Wars set.
Well, you built that roller coaster set, and it's been downstairs just like taking up space.
You mean looking great?
In a room. I mean, it's in a room that we don't use, so like I don't really care that it's there, but
it's a conversation starter. Everyone that comes over and sees that is like runs over and wants to play with it, and it's happened so much that it doesn't really run anymore.
Yeah. And now the Tantive 4 is in there too with it. 'Cause yeah, we need to, I don't know, get some custom shelves or something made for all the Lego sets that we have.
We need a whole house just for Lego sets.
Yeah, let's just convince the people next door to move out and be like, we need your house for Legos. We can make a house just be a Lego museum. And then we can charge money at the door to come in and look at all the Lego sets that we built.
Basically just make Star Wars Legoland.
Yeah. That would actually be pretty cool. If we just made our own Star Wars museum. I saw another Lego set that's, I guess it's the same collection as the bonsai tree, but it's just a potted plant, like a tall potted plant.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool, but it was like $150 or something like that. It was really expensive, but it's pretty big.
Lego's generally fairly expensive.
I guess.
You can get the potted plant when you build the bonsai tree.
Oh, that's true. I'm really excited for the holiday sets that we have. We've got a spooky one for October, and we've got a Christmas one. This beer's really good. This pumpkin beer.
It's good. I like it.
It's Elysian. I don't know how to say that. Elysian Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. Pretty tasty. Tyranno Naughty. Thanks for the super chat. Have you heard Brandon Allman talk about how Filoni almost considered bringing back Ventress in Resistance, and Nika Gray was made as a compromise?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was in Resistance Season 2 when they go to that like Sith temple that's underground and they find kind of a treasure hunter person. Do you remember her?
Oh, yeah.
They originally thought maybe that would be Ventress. And then decided against it. But yeah, she pretty definitely died.
Pretty definitely.
I mean, well, you know, so did Darth Maul, but someone checked her pulse, that level of death.
She died in a book, so it's like Star Wars is getting more and more loosey-goosey with that kind of stuff.
But it was also a book based off of Clone Wars scripts that George Lucas had a hand in. So, and I think Katie Lucas wrote them, and then Christy Golden adapted them. So it was like, there's a lot of Lucas stuff going on in that book. I would treat that as a special case, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is interesting to see, you know, people like the characters they like, and they try to keep them around even if they've been killed or cut in half.
Yeah. Dragonus Prime, thanks so much for the super chat. It's ya dude.
You dude?
I can't stay long. I've got a lab. You said you dislike too many Jedi surviving Order 66. Does that also apply to clone chip removal?
No. I don't think so, because, you know, the consequences are already there. So I'm okay if a lot of clones... I want the clones to be happy. They had their free will taken away from them. They were forced to betray their Jedi generals. It's just a bummer. So the damage has been done. If they all get their chips taken out at this point, it's not like that changes anything. Mm-hmm. Too many Jedi surviving. I don't know. It just seems like it makes Luke less special, I guess. Where it's like, the last of the Jedi you will be. Except for Ezra, he's over there, and Ahsoka, she's over there, and Kanan was around for a while, and, you know, Quinlan Vos is running around somewhere. So.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not something that I want them... Oh, and Cal Kestis, who I love, like... I don't know. It's one of those things where every time it happens, I'm kind of like, okay, but I accept it. It's all right. I guess I'm getting used to it.
Hi, Ordinary Adventures. Just dropping in to say hello. Hi.
Hey.
Hello. Thanks for dropping by. I was gonna say something. Oh, the way that Bad Batch made people really care about the clones post Order 66.
I was just gonna. That's Slash Film, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you knew that.
I think I did. Yeah.
Okay. Just hey.
What the Bad Batch did for clones post Order 66 is pretty big.
Yeah.
You wouldn't normally have really thought about the clones after the fact. Although I guess we'll find out in season 2, but like, where did they all end up? We'll never know until they decide to tell us.
Until season 2. I assume.
Alright, we got our first Visions super chat from Guiguio. Do you think The Ninth Jedi could become the plot for a full anime series in the future? It left me wanting more from that studio and story setup.
Me too.
That's the one that I've heard the most people say that, like, this could be a standalone thing. And I totally agree.
That's how I felt about it. I mean, if they had decided... I would like and dislike it in some ways if that were, like, the next movies that they did in the future. Just because I'm like, I don't want the Jedi to continue to struggle to get anything done. I don't want it to be like... And then Luke tried to rebuild the Jedi Order, and it failed. And then Rey tried, and it failed. But I don't know, that setup was so much fun to me, of just having the Jedi are still kind of around. The art of building lightsabers has been lost except for a couple people. I don't know if the sabers reacting the way that they do, the way that they handle the lightsabers in that short, I don't know if that should be canon, but they really handled it well in the short, so I'd be down. Yeah, I loved that short. I never did finish watching it, but I was watching it again today. You didn't finish watching it today?
Yeah. Some of them I have only seen once, and I need to go back and watch them again, but that one, I think that one's my favorite too. It's the one that feels the most like Star Wars to me. I love that it basically has a crawl at the beginning. Like, there's a voice kind of like setting stuff up about lightsabers are gone and the Jedi are gone, or the Jedi Order is gone. The music is really cool. There's a lot in the music for that one that sounds very Star Wars-y, and that was definitely on purpose.
I need to go back and just listen to the music, because I just feel like I didn't pay enough attention to it.
The music, it was really good in The Ninth Jedi. I also really loved the music in The Village Bride, which is another one that I watched again today. I'm going back through and watching them all in Japanese with the subtitles, because when we watched our screeners, we were trying to like really get the story and the idea of the shorts down, so we just had to listen to it with English dubs, because
a lot of them didn't have English subtitles, so it was welp.
Yeah, the screeners didn't have subtitles if you wanted to watch them in Japanese, so we wouldn't have known what the heck we were watching. I mean, we would have gotten the gist of it, but it would have been hard to give a solid review. Twins was really good too. I loved Twins because it felt like it could belong with any other of the anime shows that I watched on, like Toonami, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. It just had that vibe to it.
I thought Twins was just okay. I thought it looked beautiful, and I think that's just what they were going for. I think they were just trying to say, let's do as many crazy things as we can, and we'll make up a story to string it all together. Because they did probably the most visually interesting one. But yeah, I didn't really care for the story all that much.
I really liked it. Everything about it. And I'm glad that I'm seeing a lot of other people who feel the same way.
I mean, I loved seeing just that everyone seems to have their own favorite. Oop, that's wrong. That. Sorry, I'm struggling to fix my errors. That so many people, I've seen at least one person say that like every short is their favorite. There's not one that I feel like is just universally hated or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just some of them really connected with some people and others connected with others, and that's exactly how it should be. But it's nice to see that.
I agree with you, Terabibe. They did show a bit too much of the twins in the trailers. We were talking about that the other day when we were recording our commentary on it.
I mean, I think that was just it's visually very interesting. So when you're trying to hook people fast, they're like, throw that one in there again.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of insane stuff happens.
Dan Ritter, thanks so much for the super chat. How about an entire series based around the Ninth Jedi? Yeah. Felt full of so much possibility for storytelling. It gave me chills multiple times. Yeah, same.
Still yes.
Still yes.
I'm hopeful that, you know, going into this, I was like, I like this idea. I'm into it. I don't necessarily want them to do a season 2. That's kind of how I think I said that in my initial review, that I'm like, this was fun. I don't need a season 2. But if they do another one and they're going to follow up on some of those, if they do the Ninth Jedi and the twins left off on something that I feel like they could do a little trilogy of shorts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be down for that.
I don't necessarily want a season 2 of this show, but I would love it if they took this idea and just allowed other studios and creators to make their own version of Star Wars and don't, like, it's not canon. It's like, that's gotta be kind of explicitly said, I guess, but like books, comics, video games, if they just continue to let other creative people play around in Star Wars that don't have to worry about is it canon or not, I think that makes for some really fun, new, interesting things.
I agree. I think it's good to not let Star Wars get bogged down into whether or not something's canon. Maybe that is the part of me that just gets annoyed every time anything is announced, and the first billion questions we get on Twitter is like, is it canon or not? It's like, it's doesn't matter. I mean, if like I like the canon universe as well, but there's so much more going on than just whether or not something's canon.
Yeah. Like, The Ninth Jedi would make a really interesting manga series if they were to, like, turn that into something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, I would watch a show just based on that story alone. Lord Hosk, thanks for the super chat. How did you like my Reese's Visions comparison? That was funny. Did you see that tweet?
No.
It's got a image of all the episodes and then their Reese's counterparts.
They're Reese's? Like
the candy?
Yeah. I thought that meant there's Reese's Pieces and there's Reese's.
Oh.
I love Reese's.
There's a lot of different Reese's things out there. All the like holiday
duel,
ones.
a nice little bite, the perfect blend. Okay, Tatooine Rhapsody, extra sweet, all the right notes. The twins. We put anime in your anime. Also Star Wars Reese's Ultimate. All right, that's funny. The Village Bride, a perfect blend of chocolate and peanut butter. The Ninth Jedi. Do you like chocolate with peanut butter? This is that and more. Nice. T0B1. It's candy time. Reese's Pieces. The Elder. Sometimes a little Star Wars is just enough. Mm-hmm. Lapino Joey snuck a few little treats inside the normal shell. Akakiri, all peanut and a little crunchy, but still sweet.
I think those are all perfect,
yeah,
by the way.
Those are very good.
And
Akakiri is the one that I'm like, I don't quite get that one right now.
I really want the Reese's pumpkins, by the way. They were at Target the other day, and I was like, no, Molly, it's too early.
You could have gotten me one.
They're sold in bags.
You could have gotten me a bag. That's what I meant.
We made this mistake already by getting the pumpkin Kit Kats, and they're gone now.
That's true.
A whole bag of them. Yeah, that last one.
Akakiri's an odd one.
Akakiri.
But I've seen someone. I think it was Mandatorian or Tori Fox. It's one of the Tories on Twitter. She said she really liked it, and I'm like, I would like to talk to you about why, because it just kind of confused me a little bit. But
it's, again, that's another one of the ones that I've only seen
the
once,
one time.
So I definitely need to.
Also, we did like, I've seen it 3 times now, I think, but we did binge. The first time we watched them, we watched all of them in a row. And it was a little much to just like sit there and watch 2.5 hours of completely disconnected stories.
Yeah. I was like mentally exhausted by the end of it. I definitely do not recommend trying to binge the whole series, which is why we delayed our like official stream to talk about it till tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're talking about it anyways.
It was more, we didn't want people to feel like they had to rush.
Yeah. Matt McDonald, thanks for the super chat. Hello, do you think we could one day get stories set in Stellan, Avar, and Elzar's Padawan years? And would you like to see that? Character origins, etc. I think so. That would be really awesome. Any more content on those characters, I think I'd be down for.
I'd be up for that. It's possible.
It would be cool to see, is it Elzar and, I forgot everyone's name. Avar, Chris, and Elzar.
Uh-huh.
They were the ones that, like, had a
bit of a thing. Yeah, I'd be down for that. It's possible that it might even play into the storytelling, like the way we got Tempest Runner about Lorna D, and it goes back and tells her origin stories. We might get something like that when they feel the timing is right, that like now we need to go back and learn something crucial about these characters. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Or they might not, and we could do it after the fact. Like, I think that the High Republic might end, and the 5 authors might say, okay, like, that was our story, and we're done. And maybe one of them will revisit those characters. Or maybe someone else will be like, I have a great idea for an Avar Kriss story or a Porter Engle novel. I don't think those characters will be done and gone forever when the High Republic is over.
Yeah. Porter Engle is just too good of a character to not explore at least a little bit of his origin story.
Yeah, I bring him up every time because I do want a Porter Engle novel or comic or something. Where'd he get that name? The Blade of Bardata? It's too cool. Gotta see it.
Gotta see it. Farrell, Unfiction, thanks for the super chat. What race is the drummer in the band in Tatooine Rhapsody?
As far as I know, he's new.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anyone like him before.
A 3-bodied person. I didn't recognize him, so I'll try to look into it. There's if people don't know, there are extras on Disney Plus. I didn't know that until Ruben told me. Ruben is who will be on our stream tomorrow, and so we were swapping notes and stuff, and he was like, I'm going through the extras now, and I was like, what?
Huh.
So yeah, there are like 6 to 8 minute interviews with all the creators in
I
the
wondered
little
where
extras
people
tab.
were getting those screenshots of like some of the people talking about
So
stuff.
yeah, I'm probably gonna watch those later.
Well, I will too.
But maybe they say something about his species there.
But
Really, I just think they were like, what would be a cool drummer? Let's give him 6 arms and 3 bodies and 3 heads. Molly said he would make a good bartender too.
Yeah, slinging all the drinks. I do want to say a lot of people have talked about Chibi Boba Fett and how adorable he is.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. He's adorable.
Yes.
So is Bib. Bib
Oh,
Fortuna.
Bib's a cutie.
He's so cute.
He just looks clueless, like, how did I get here? Hope Boba doesn't shoot me one day.
Yeah.
I saw some people, or I haven't seen it, but I've heard that people were not into Tatooine Rhapsody, and
Aw.
yeah, I like it.
I like that
It's
one.
not in
It's
my
fun.
top 3, but I thought it was enjoyable. I have a lot of things to say about it, actually,
That
in
one's
my review.
definitely one to watch in Japanese with English subtitles, just because the song sounds better.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Templin Institute, thanks for the super chat. Has there been any discussion that the shorts might be in-universe, quote-unquote, fictional films? The Arabesh title for the duel seemed to suggest that maybe.
I like that idea.
That'd be cool, because, yeah, we know that there's in-universe books and holodramas and stories about the Jedi, so that'd be interesting that these are little shorts set in Star Wars.
I kind of like that idea, yeah. I don't think that's their intent, but I'm down to have that as headcanon. One of the producers, I think it was James Waugh, said that he said something that I've been thinking would happen. That he was like, these shorts aren't made to be canon or to fit into canon, but we're also trying to leave the door open for anyone down the line that decides they want to try to pull some stuff in. And I'm like, Tatooine Rhapsody would be easy to do. You just mention the band Star Waver. But if they wanted to, I don't know, mention somebody from J or F from The Village Bride, that planet, like, I think there's still room for some of these stories to become canon if someone decides to do that.
Yeah. If it makes sense for the story, I'm sure that's probably going to happen. Harold Grundigern, I hope I didn't butcher your name. Thanks for the super chat. Do you think they will ever allow independent filmmakers to make live action shorts? That's kind of what I was talking about earlier, like if they took this idea that what Visions is and let other creators kind of run with it, it could end up in something like an independent filmmaker making a live action short. But I think when it comes to live action, they probably won't be as lenient with with what's canon and not canon. But I don't know. What do you think about?
No, I figure if they've done it in animation, why not live action? For some reason, I do think it's less likely, because especially the fact that it's anime, and they're like, we're going for a very specific mood here, or genre, media. Like, they're trying to do something really specific with Star Wars Visions, and I think that would be harder to do with live action, but I don't see why they couldn't just do the exact same thing. I mean, the Visions doesn't have to be an anime thing. It could just be like, all right, now we're doing, live action short films, and it's these filmmakers' vision of Star Wars, and we're just going to see what happens.
I think where they would run into trouble there is if they were going to try to use anything familiar that already exists in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. There's probably rules against that in live action, like especially with characters and like locations. But if it's all new stuff, maybe.
Yeah, I do think it's a little harder to keep separate what is and isn't canon, because anime and animation in general can get so much crazier, and they can do whatever they want, whereas live action is a little more constrained.
Yeah, we saw in the Twins episode how big and crazy they can make the technology in Star Wars be.
Yeah.
Gareth Reese Pryor, thanks so much for the super chat. Your lore play videos inspired me to start a Dune Explained / gaming channel. I just started capturing footage for my first video. No question, just thank you for keeping me company throughout the pandemic / lockdown.
Well, it's a good time for a Dune channel.
Yeah?
So I just read Dune for the first time. I finished it 2-ish weeks ago, I think. Liked it quite a bit. Was prepping up so I would know what is happening for the movie. And now I'm ready. But I definitely needed, I had to go on YouTube, and I looked up a couple, okay, what is this thing? There were some
What is
things I absolutely did not understand until I watched some YouTube videos on it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome that you made a channel. We might check it out, especially me, because I did not read Dune, and I'm still very confused on what it's about.
Well, you came in right at the end of... I also watched the David Lynch movie, and you just came in and you were like, what is happening? That man looks like Sting. And I was like, it is Sting.
That was funny. I was like, that guy looks just like Sting. I mean, I have no desire to rewatch that movie to try to understand it. I'm not really that excited for the new movie, to be honest. I'll watch it, but I'm just like, Dune is Dune.
Well, I mean, that's how I didn't know what it was about at all until I read the book, and now I'm like, okay, I get this. I understand now.
Doomslayer 420, thanks so much for the super chat. No question, just wanted to send monies and tell you I finally watched Ted Lasso. Yay!
Yay!
Great cosplays at Dragon Con. I'm coming for that trivia next year.
Nice.
All are welcome to come beat us at trivia because you can't.
Unless you're Marie.
Unless you're Marie or maybe Thomas, but
Nah.
yeah. Ted Lasso's great.
I keep forgetting on Fridays what day it is, and Molly's like, do you want to watch Ted Lasso? And then I get real excited and run downstairs. And
I really liked the last episode. Some people didn't like it because it was all about Coach Beard, but I thought it was really interesting. I love... It wasn't even really a bottle episode, but I love episodes where it kind of just like focuses in on a certain character, and we get to see just everything that's happening from a different point of view in a show.
I thought it was great. Yeah, like, it was so refreshing to watch something like that, and we finished it, and I was like, man, Star Wars fans would be yelling about freaking filler and stuff. And I was like, it was nice to just enjoy that, enjoy a weird story, and not have to worry about going to talk about it too.
Yeah, it's nice to enjoy a TV show and not have to then break it down piece by piece right after watching it. We've been watching Why the Last Man, which has been really good. What else have we been watching? Wellington Paranormal, which is great. It's on HBO. It's like a spin-off series from What We Do in the Shadows.
American Horror Story.
American Horror Story. Oh, Friday, we're both really excited to watch Midnight Mass.
Oh yeah, with our best friend Raoul Coley.
Yeah, our best
That
friend.
we've talked to a handful of times.
It's interesting because, like, yeah, the early marketing for Midnight Mass made it seem like, oh, it's from the creator of The Haunting at Bly Manor and it's gonna be spooky, but it's not really spooky. I think it's more of a thriller.
I think it's supposed to be spooky.
Well, we'll see, I guess. But I've read that it's kind of a slow burn and there's like a lot of heavy dialogue, but I'm ready for it. There's a bunch of stuff coming out in October that I'm really excited to watch.
I'm expecting more Bly Manor than Hill House, basically. Maybe not, like, terrifying, but...
Yeah, Bly Manor was a love story that had some spooky elements. Someone said cool earrings. Thank you. They're little jack-o'-lanterns with cats on them. We've got a bunch of Halloween decorations already set up downstairs, and I'm already into my spooky movie watching phase. What did we watch so far? I watched I rewatched Jennifer's Body because it had been a long time, and it had just been its anniversary, I think 12-year anniversary.
Did we talk about Malignant last week? I think we did. I think we'd already seen it by then.
Yeah. I loved Malignant.
I did too. I didn't love it, but it was good. It was fun.
I want to watch
and
it
bonkers.
again, actually. It was bonkers. We watched Ready or Not, which is just a fun movie. It's kind of gory, but that one is really fun. Last night we watched The Exorcist 3 because I'd just been really curious about that movie for a long time. It wasn't very good. It had a couple of good moments. Kind of an interesting story, but meh. You can't win them all. What costumes are we wearing this year? Have to wait to find out.
Oh, okay. I thought you already talked about one of your ideas last week. No? All right.
Wait, one of my ideas?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Okay. Then I won't say anything. I can never tell what's a secret and what's not with you. Sometimes you just arbitrarily decide something is a secret.
Star Wars is hard to explain. Thanks for the super chat. Are there galactic standard month names in the Star Wars universe?
Not that I know of. I do think...
That's a good point. What does their calendar look like?
I feel like there have been months thrown out at some point, but I don't know them. No one ever really seems to mention them. Like, I think every planet would probably have their own months, and I'm sure there is a galactic standard. But that seems like something that would be hard to organize across the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. I also saw someone ask, what's the Star Wars name for Halloween? That's a good question. Do regular people dress up as, like, Jedi and Sith? And, like, go around and get space candy?
I don't think so. I'm sure there was a Halloween equivalent in, like, Star Wars Galaxies, the MMO. But mostly it just, like, I'm thinking of the Tales from Vader's Castle stories. Mostly I think there are just spooky things that happen sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, there are straight up ghosts in the Star Wars universe, so look out for those. Oh my god. Hilo farted and it smells terrible. Ugh. Hilo, why? Blech. Oh yeah, Jane said we might find out in the LEGO special if they
That's true.
have Halloween in Star Wars. Because they have Life Day. Maybe it's called Death Day.
Again, I'm like pretty sure they had an equivalent in Star Wars Galaxies, but I never played that.
Ewoks also had a Halloween that was spelled weird.
That sounds right. For some reason, a lot of the holidays in Galaxies were Ewok themed.
On Dathomir, it's Halloween all year. I agree with that. If you just keep Satan in your heart, every day can be Halloween. Matt Thornton, thanks for the super chat. How different do you think Boba Fett would have turned out if he was raised by Hondo instead of Aurra Singh? Pretty different, I think.
I don't know. Like, Hondo is also not that great, and he used to date Aurra Singh, so I don't know. I think Boba Fett is more defined by his pain and his loss than whoever raised him. I kind of think he'd turn out basically the same.
I don't know, though, because, well, Hondo's not exactly nurturing.
Right. He'd still use him to be a bounty hunter and a pirate, and
yeah, probably.
He's nicer, I would say.
He might have a little more fun.
Yeah.
So maybe he wouldn't have gotten in with all the wrong crowd. I don't know.
Hondo is the wrong crowd.
Well, he was at least kind of cool about it. I don't know. Someone earlier asked if we were going to talk about the Marvel What If series when it's over. Probably not. I'm not impressed with those episodes
I
at all.
haven't really been either. Like, we'll probably watch today's episode while we have dinner, but like I keep forgetting that they're even happening.
Yeah, they're
just
fun to watch, but
they're fine.
There's nothing to talk about, really. It's like, yeah, indeed, what if? Huh.
Yeah, they don't leave me excited afterwards. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that stuff played into Marvel projects in the future. Like, there are rumors that Captain Carter is going to be in, like, the Multiverse of Madness and stuff. Which, that's cool.
Yeah.
But
it just, for me, it confirms that, like, a Star Wars version of that What If series probably would not be good and would not do well.
Yeah, I'm happier with Visions, which is, in a sense, What If, but, like, at least it's fresher. It's new characters, new ideas, instead of just the same characters in different situations.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we didn't start a Marvel versus Star Wars flame war in the chat.
I don't think we did. Bill Rudd, thanks so much for the super chat. I listened to Dune last week and enjoyed it. There's less effects and music than Star Wars books, but a full voice cast.
Oh, that's cool.
Looking forward to videos about it. Oh, interesting. I like when audiobooks do different voices.
I'm only going to do like 1 or 2 videos about Dune. I've already done one that'll come out like closer to when the movie is out. Just about the similarities between the two universes, because it's obvious, or it's always been talked about, that Star Wars borrowed a lot from Dune. So I wanted to talk about all those. And it's weird, like, I read through it, I made a list, and then I was like, I know people have done this before, so I'm going to look through and see what they've said. And a lot of them are very surface level. I was like, I wrote down a lot more stuff that Dune and Star Wars have in common. A lot of them are just like, yeah, there's sand.
There's sand and large sand monsters.
Right.
J-Cat asked, is Dune worth the read?
If you like sci-fi, or I would say fantasy kind of as well. I mean, it's similar to Game of Thrones in some ways. It's similar to Tolkien in a lot of ways. So if you like high fantasy or science fiction, then yeah, I enjoyed it. I like both of those things. And yeah, it's a very...
It's not like super long, is it? I don't think it is.
It's fairly long. It's like 500 pages.
Mm.
I wouldn't say it's short. It's not 300 pages. I don't know at what point a book goes from like, this is average to long, but I guess it's around 500 pages for me.
That's true. And the writing is a little weird. I remember you saying that, so...
Oh yeah, it definitely takes your attention, like your full attention.
Yeah. There's no way I could read it then.
if you space out for a little bit and then like come back and you're like, wait, what did I just read? Like, you're gonna be going back pages.
Yeah. Dune did come out in China, right?
It's come out a lot of places internationally already.
That's right. Because I've seen a couple people, I guess, who have gotten screeners of it here in the U.S. talking about it. But when does it come out here?
October 20. Oh, in a month from today, actually. I didn't know that they were doing just the first half of the movie or of the book until more recently, and I'm kind of bummed about that, just because I'm like, it's like the Lord of the Rings style, I guess, where they just split the whole story up, and that's fine, but they didn't shoot them back to back, so it's like they're waiting to see if this does well in the middle of a pandemic, and then they'll decide if they're going to do a part 2. And I'm like, well, that would suck if they just did half of the story and then didn't finish it. I think they probably are going to do the other half, but
this is an interesting way that they've made Chewie into a Lego minifig.
Yeah.
It's got like his head and shoulders are like a whole top piece that goes on to a Lego body. Has he always been like that?
I think so.
Are we gonna go see Dune in theater?
Part of me wants to watch it from home just to spite Denis Villeneuve, but
Who?
the director, and I know I just said his name wrong, but I mean,
Why?
huh?
Why?
Because he's been kind of a snob about things recently.
I mean, I've heard plenty of people say, like, see it in IMAX. That's the only way to see it.
I mean, I would like to.
If you can.
He makes really good-looking movies. He was one of those people that recently was like, Marvel just cut and paste, and like Marvel's not real cinema, and I'm just like, why are you dogging on things? Like, people work hard on those movies. You can have that opinion, but like, to be a director and run around bad-mouthing other directors, I'm like, what are you doing, man?
I mean, the Marvel movies have been going on for so long. It's such a like huge, intricate story at this point that's all connected. Yeah. There's no point in being like, oh, Marvel's dumb. It's just a thing now. But yeah, if 9 times out of 10, I'll probably see the movie at home if it's offered for me to do so. But that's just me.
And I mean, I've seen other people, directors even, saying that like the argument, yeah, everyone wants you to see their movies in a theater, but the idea that like, oh, it's the only right way to see it, it's, I don't know, everything that he was talking about just came off very gatekeeping to me, and I don't like that. Where it's like, oh, if you didn't catch my movie in a theater and you were born later, it's like, well, you didn't see it the right way. Like, all right, calm down, man. We're allowed to watch movies on TV. Think about how many people saw Star Wars. I saw Star Wars taped off of TBS for the first time.
And it blew your little kid brain.
Yep.
Jedi Mullet 77, thanks for the super chat. There is a Star Wars Halloween. They dress up as silly Earthlings. Might be missing a bag here. Uh-oh.
I think it's just in. Yep.
Oh.
I just didn't pull it out. There.
I'm not really the one to talk about what deserves a cinema experience or not, because I'm like, if a movie is longer than an hour and a half, like, does it even really need to exist? I get tired. I say I used to, but I still do this sometimes. I used to fall asleep during like any movie that I tried to watch at home. I wouldn't do it in theater. Actually,
That's a lie.
I have, but like not often. It's happened more than once, but like not more than like 2 or 3 times have I fallen asleep during a movie in the theater.
I stopped keeping count. So
What movie were we at that I fell asleep at?
Solo.
Okay, well that was like the 3rd or 4th time we had seen it, and I had been drinking all day.
No, that's not why. It was because had just gotten off a flight. We went to see it late after flying to LA for a schmodown.
Yeah.
And then
That's true. It was late and we had just flown in. We did have some drinks though. But that theater had my favorite popcorn that I've ever had in a movie theater. It was that Cheetos popcorn.
Yeah. You fell asleep with a mouthful of it. And
I did not. It was just like hot Cheetos mixed in with popcorn, and I was like, this is genius. Why hasn't this happened already? And yeah, I think I ate like half of it and fell asleep.
No, the only we had already seen Solo a few times, and then but it was still in theaters, and I was like, it's the only way for me to study it for a schmodown, so we might as well go watch it again.
Oh yeah. I know I fell asleep when I went and saw Return of the King for a second time the year it came out, and I think I fell asleep the second time I watched it, because that one's pretty long.
It's a 3.5 hour long movie.
And we went and saw it late. I do remember that. I can remember a time where like going to a midnight screening was like, oh boy, I don't know if I can stay up for this. And then it was like, oh, look at all the people who are complaining about being tired. And now I'm back to midnight for a movie. No, thank you.
I remember we went to the midnight showing for The Dark Knight Rises. And I was like, we might be too old for this.
Well, we waited in line for 7 hours.
No, that was The Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises was
Dark Knight
different.
Rises.
And I just remember being like, I'm having a hard time keeping up.
But it's funny because it's almost like people who are our age are making the decisions for movie theater stuff, because shortly after that, it was like, hey, no more midnight releases.
That's true. It was like 7 p.m.
We'll do like a night before release, but it's going to start at 7 o'clock because ain't nobody got time to be staying up till midnight.
That is interesting.
Yeah. We're running the world.
Uh-huh. We wrote a letter. Dear Hollywood, I can't do this no more.
Dear Hollywood, I'm tired. Please don't. Just don't. You know what you did, just don't. But like last night, we did like a double feature movie night, but we started at like 8:30. And the first one was pretty short.
Yeah, they were both. Well, Exorcist 3 is almost 2 hours.
What? Oh, we also saw Candyman. That one was really good.
I liked that.
I definitely recommend checking that out if you haven't seen it. I've never seen the original Candyman, and I've been told not to watch it, or not to worry about it, I guess. But we did figure out how the story for the original was connected to the story of the new one, and I did think that was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, they tell the original story in the movie.
But I wouldn't have known that unless you hadn't have looked it up.
What does this go on?
What's that?
I think it's like the roof.
There's a roof?
I think so.
Oh, wait. Is there a roof that you can, like, take on and off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Scaffolding, I guess.
That's fun. I keep looking at this piece, and it reminds me of the Doug in the first Visions episode that's, like, basically riding in a repurposed probe droid. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That's not what this is, but it kind of
looks
like
very similar.
The Dark Knight sleeps. Yes, that's what happened. Ah. Your nose is whistling. I can hear it from over here. That happens all too often. And I don't know how you don't hear it. It's like you
just
can't.
Used to it.
It's like you can't hear octaves that high. That's how high pitched it is. Do you think Trilla is powerful enough to be a Sith? Asks Andrew Devlin.
Sure. I don't know. The whole anytime someone brings up like power to me in Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, if she gets angry or sad enough, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyone could be a Sith, and she definitely has a lot of anger and pain in her. So
it's the opposite of having hope and faith. If you have enough anger and sadness, you can be the ultimate bad guy. Jedi Mullet 77 with another super chat. True story, in 1990, I go to the theater to see Home Alone. It was sold out and had to settle for Look Who's Talking To. I go to see Titanic, sold out and had to settle for Home Alone 3.
I liked Home Alone 3 growing up.
I don't think I've seen Home Alone 3.
It's not good.
That's pretty funny. It's crazy to think that, like, yeah, you used to drive all the way to the movie theater only to find out that your movie was sold out. Although that changed when Movie Phone came out. I think they would have told you over the phone if it was sold out or not. But I remember calling Movie Phone, like, every weekend.
I don't think I ever
Hello,
used
and welcome
Movie
to
Phone.
Movie Phone.
I don't think I ever used Movie Phone.
No?
Mm-mm.
I used it a ton.
I don't know how this is supposed to go on.
I think at some point it was, like, brought to you by AOL or American Online, something like that.
What is this?
Yeah, you call Movie Phone. They would list out every movie that's playing alphabetically, and you just had to sit there and wait. Or I think you could plug in the first letter of the movie, and then they're like, okay, we'll start from this letter. And you could... I don't think I used it to buy tickets, but it would tell you, like, the times that the movies were showing. Titanic would have been interesting to see in a theater for how long it is.
Oh, you didn't see it in a theater?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I did.
I don't think so. Wait, did I?
I'd be shocked if you didn't. That was like the cultural event of 1997.
In 97? I don't know if that my attention span was big enough to handle a movie that long and serious.
I don't think
Also,
your
wasn't
attention
it rated
span
R?
No, it's PG-13.
Oh,
I don't think your attention span could handle it now.
it's true. I did have the VHS, though, and it was on 2 tapes.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Yeah.
Like Braveheart.
Uh-huh. Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
You guys remember having 2
I forgot about those.
VHS tapes for the really friggin' long movies?
I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings came out on VHS. That was probably one of the last ones. Oh, man. I forgot about 2 VHS tapes. And now, like, it's still absurd to me that Lord of the Rings is on 2 discs.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not have the technology?
I mean, I guess because it got, like, touched up and everything for 4K, that makes sense to me that a movie that intricate being scaled up to 4K would need to be on 2 discs.
I'll
but
know.
like my brain doesn't understand how information goes on a disc to begin with.
Right.
So the idea of having to use 2, I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, how? I'll know that movie technology has peaked when we get Lord of the Rings, like, lossless transfer on 1 disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saving Private Ryan was on 2. Technology is crazy. And now there's like a resurgence of VHS coming around. Or maybe not resurgence, but like people are starting to collect movies on VHS. And
I'm tempted, like,
and say
anytime
that
we're
that's their preferred way of watching stuff.
No. That's whoever's doing that, that's ludicrous. If I'm like at a thrift store and I see Star Wars on VHS, for some reason I'm like tempted to get it, but
I will
not
never
to actually watch it.
I will never get rid of my Disney movie collection that are in the big plastic cases. Those are priceless. But I don't have them here. They're at my mom's house, and I should probably go get them from her. But VHS tapes just have such a vibe nowadays, and like, it's all the rage with the kids.
It's hipsters.
Do we even own any VHS tapes? I know I have.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Star Wars and I think Raiders of the Lost Ark. I've got some lying around, but it's like, I'm not going to use them.
The only one I know that I have is in the closet in my office, and it's that school project that I did in high school with Gwen. We had to make like a video project, and it's on a VHS. We made a like cover art for it, and I actually put it in an old Disney box. So it's in one of those giant plastic boxes. Finding a working VHS player is difficult now too.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I guess they're so old and like nobody repairs that stuff anymore, but I'm pretty sure out where we live we could find a working VHS. Do your parents have one?
Actually, the last one I was
VCR,
over there,
sorry.
Yeah. Did you say VHS player?
Yeah.
Last week when I was out at my parents' house, they had someone else's VCR because they were trying to look through. They have just like blank tapes, and they wanted to see what was on them. And their old VCR that they had in the garage doesn't work anymore, so they had to borrow someone else's.
I remember getting the VHS DVD player in one, like when DVD players were still pretty new. And that was fun. What does VHS stand for? Home... Oh,
Video home
Video
system?
home system, I think.
That sounds like that could be right, or we just made it up. That could go either way.
Yeah. Video home stereo? No. Video...
Oh, crap.
Video high standard.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I think it's video home... Wait, what is it? Video home
System?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You could tell me anything, and I'd believe you.
And now I'm like, what does VCR stand for?
Video cassette recorder? Replayer?
You could record stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Recorder. Because we would tape stuff off the TV all the time. I had, during Christmas, we taped a bunch of the, like, cartoon Christmas specials on VHS tapes, and I remember watching those like every year around Christmas until they just fell apart. And then I was sad because it was like, once you tape something like that off TV, how do you find it ever again? Like Eureka's Castle Christmas special, I had that taped off TV, and I had to wait till I was a grown adult to find it again until somebody put it out onto the internet somewhere. Yeah, video cassette recorder.
Nice. We can figure things out.
We know things. Bakey, thanks so much for the super chat. Are you guys planning to do scary Twitch streams for October? Phasmophobia got a recent update, just saying. Yes. I'm probably not going to play Phasmophobia because we've tried that game and I didn't really like it. But we're going to play something. Or I am. I'm going to
Probably play something.
encourage Alex to also come join me, but...
I still need to finish Resident Evil 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to pick something to play that isn't... I was talking about this to him a couple days ago. I was like, I need to find a spooky game to play that isn't super gameplay heavy, because there isn't a new Telltale style scary game that I know of. But like last year I played Man of Medan and Little Hope. So the like heavy story based ones, I think I've played most of them that are like spooky. But like, I think I've tried to play Outlast before and I couldn't.
You did?
Yeah, because I couldn't, not on Twitch, but I couldn't get past the basement level.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Where you have to like run in a circle.
I was there for that.
And I got so frustrated. I was like, no, I quit. But I'm saving opening my Animal Crossing island until I'm ready to come back to Twitch, because I want to just like see what it looks like and let everyone see my first reaction to just... I assume it's an island covered in weeds at this point, and
yep.
All of my islanders have gone all like post-apocalyptic.
They've gone native.
But I haven't really played Animal Crossing that much since last October. I did hop on during the holidays, but I do have all the like Halloween decorations and stuff saved in my inventory, so I want to get back in there and just like make my entire island Halloween themed. But it's kind of hard getting back into streaming because like this time last year, it was like, we can't go anywhere. Might as well. Now it's like, it's way too tempting to go out to dinner or something just to get out of the house. If you work from home, then you absolutely know how that feels. You just like, the weekend comes and you just want to get out of the house. Hitman Hudson, thanks so much for the super chat. When Molly beats Alex, how long will she gloat? I assume you're talking about the Schmodown, and...
Yes, how long will you gloat?
When I do beat Alex, I will gloat forever.
No.
Literally forever. I would... I won't gloat as hard as I would if... Let's say I beat him in Dragon Con trivia somehow, which I don't think that's possible, but you never know.
You're mean.
Am I?
Yeah, I would never gloat.
I think anyone who's ever beaten you should gloat about it. Beaten you about anything.
I never lose.
That's not true.
It'll be interesting to see if someone can gloat about anything. Maybe someday.
Diego Eminol, thanks so much for the super chat. I have episode 1 and 2 in VHS, but not 3 because Lucas didn't think it was an acceptable format. And he might be right, but my trilogy is incomplete. Oh, I bet that's frustrating. I'm sorry.
I wonder what the last movie to come out on VHS was.
I feel like they're probably still coming out for people that live in North Georgia and have to go to the Ingalls to rent their movies.
Maybe.
I love going anytime we rent a cabin, I love going through their movie selection because it's just like the most random stuff. Same with like if they have books or board games. They've always got a Monopoly and a Scrabble. But like the movies, they'll usually have like, I don't know, what do you think is the most common movie to be found in a rented cabin?
Braveheart comes to mind. I mean, it's usually just, you know, the favorite hits.
The Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, it's a good one. A movie that like you've heard of, but
Sleepless in Seattle.
you gotta have a couple rom-coms in there. Hunt for Red October is really good.
When Harry Met Sally. That's a good one. And then there's always like a random season of TV show, like season 3 of Seinfeld, or season
on DVD
2
or on
of
VHS.
Just Shoot Me. Yeah, on DVD. Like it's just a random season of a show stuffed in there.
That's when
it's like somebody left it there on accident, and then their collection will never be complete again because they left it at a cabin.
It was nice to be able to start getting like seasons of TV show on DVD because that just wasn't really viable on VHS.
Yeah, like
you could just get collections of random episodes.
When I got Buffy on DVD, that I was like, oh, it's over. I'm never watching any other show ever again because I was like, I can just rewatch these episodes a billion times, and that's exactly what I did for a while. But yeah, I remember being able to just like, oh, I want to rewatch this season of this show, and you just have to like open the disc set and like put the discs in. We did that with Spaced. I think we had that.
Yeah, but that was only like 2 discs. I did that with Scrubs, Arrested Development. That's how I first saw that show. I watched the first like 2 episodes of Arrested Development and then immediately went on Amazon and bought the entire DVD set because I loved those first 2 episodes so much.
Oh, Miranda here. Thanks so much for the super chat. Happy (parentheses North Hemisphere) autumn. Given that there are galactic-wide holidays like Life Day and Empire Day, how do you think seasons and holidays play a role, if any, in the tracking of time in Star Wars? So this came up a little bit earlier because we were like, does Star Wars have Halloween? They definitely have to have some kind of way to track time, so...
Yeah, I mean, I assume that... So, in the Life Day Treasury, they talk about how Life Day just became kind of... It was a Wookiee holiday, and then it spread across the galaxy because people liked it, and people began celebrating it on other planets. I think that it was still... They probably celebrated it when the Wookiees celebrated it. They probably just pay attention to when the actual holiday is, and then people are like, okay, we'll just do it then. That would be my guess.
Yeah. What other holidays do you think people celebrate in the Star Wars universe?
I've got a video about that coming out on December 25th.
Oh, boy.
But I just went through the Life Day Treasure. It's just a short video, like literally one of those minute videos to talk about the various holidays that people celebrated across the galaxy.
I think most of the holidays in Star Wars are remembrance holidays for the millions of people that may have died.
Yeah, like
in
an
any
Alderaan
given
Day
war. maybe
Yeah, that
they
makes
have
sense.
maybe they have Star Wars Day because they were like, there were too many wars and too many people died. We just got to bulk it all into one day and just be really sad for one day. Do you think they have Alderaan Day?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure the surviving Alderanians do.
Arbor Day. Yeah, they definitely have Arbor Day. Everyone has an Arbor Day and no one knows what to do on Arbor Day.
Every day's Arbor Day on Kashyyyk.
I saw RD Film said, "Who remembers HD DVD?"
Oh yeah,
Did
man.
we
I
have-
thought I would have bet money. I'm glad I didn't have like an Xbox.
It was like, oh, we've got these red DVD cases. Oh, but we got these blue DVD cases. They're gonna duke it out. Which one's gonna win?
I thought for sure HD DVD would win, just because of the DVD name. Like, you have that brand recognition, and it's HD. I understand what that is. Blu-ray could be anything. So I was like, if I had an Xbox 360 that had the HD DVD player, I probably would have gone all in on HD DVDs. But I didn't.
That's what it is. It's like, I think the people in charge of marketing the Blu-ray player went full steam ahead, threw all their money into marketing, and like made that a thing. And I think that's why Blu-rays made it. And like, nobody had an Xbox growing up.
No, you could get an HD DVD player.
No one cares about Xbox.
Yeah, but you could get an HD DVD player.
But
And
not-
and Sony and PlayStation had the Blu-ray player. So that was just another way they were battling it out.
Yeah.
And I guess Sony
Oh
won.
yeah, that's right. Which PlayStation was the first to be a Blu-ray player?
3?
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
that makes sense. I do remember HD DVDs, and then like before they got phased out, but like after no one was buying them, it was weird because they were like way more expensive. Like, they jacked up the prices before they got put on like super clearance
Uh-huh.
to just try to get rid of them, because they're like, this is our last hope to try to get rid of these. Maybe someone will think these are going to be worth something one day. Do we even No. We gave our PlayStation 3 to somebody, I think. I've got the PlayStation
You got
4
the
in my
PlayStation 4,
office.
the 5 is downstairs.
And it's got a solid inch of dust on it, I
I
think.
think we gave her 3 to Jeremy. I'm crushing it today. I haven't had any
Are
extra
you
pieces.
indeed
Yes.
crushing it?
Yes. I haven't had any extra pieces that I wasn't supposed to have.
I see some extra pieces.
Yeah,
over
but
there.
they're all like tiny pieces that I'm supposed to have.
He says that, but I have no way of checking.
Chewbacca doesn't need your sass.
Abuse! Well, now that's gone forever. Where did this go?
Oh, it's fine. Come back.
Well, no, because one of the animals is going to eat it. Find it.
Milo's eating worse.
Ow. Ah, stop! Ow! You're gonna put my eye out! That hit me right in the face! Wow.
Oh.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking I would shoot you.
You could have taken my eye out.
You're-
Have
I'm
you
not
learned
scared.
nothing from A Christmas Story?
His eye was fine. Here, you can have your
No,
revenge.
I'm not a monster. Rude.
What time is it?
7:25.
Okay.
It's time for you to calm down. That's what time it is.
I think I need some food.
Yeah, we should probably go cook
We
dinner.
made some good progress.
This is a good time to end because I am distraught.
You're livid.
That one would be hard to make a GIF out of because you won't be able to see the thing hitting my face, but
I'll put a little blaster bolt on it. Like, do some After Effects.
okay. Oh boy. Alright. We're all caught up on Super Chats, and we are gonna go cook dinner. But I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Go watch Star Wars Visions if you haven't already. We're gonna do another live stream tomorrow.
Same time, 6 p.m. Eastern, with our friend Ruben, and we're gonna talk about Visions and anime and Star Wars.
I'm so excited to have Ruben on the channel.
I know, me too. He's been on before, technically. He did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was 1/3 of You're Welcome Hollywood, and together they're a podcast that improvises movies. And so they improvised episode 9 and just tried to guess what was going to happen. They did a bad job. Well, actually, they did a pretty good job on some things. They gave Rey a gold lightsaber.
Ooh. That's interesting.
Yeah, I should go back and see what all they got right, because there were a couple times watching The Rise of Skywalker I was like, oh my god, they did it.
Oh, we got one last super chat in. Although it's a big question. A World Made of Cardboard asked, how long have you been a Star Wars fan? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Probably.
How old am I?
Probably
20.
Since
7 years?
Since we saw it for the first time?
27 years. Yep. I believe I was 7 the first time I saw it.
I have no
7
idea
or 8, so
how old I was when I first saw it.
26 or 27 years.
Like, my memory just... I try to remember back that far, and I just remember, oh, one day I just had seen all the Star Wars. But must not have had that big of an impact on me if I can't remember.
Yeah, like, I don't remember so much my first time seeing it. I remember my first summer where I watched it constantly, and I remember why we watched it for the first time. But the rest of it's just a blur.
Yeah.
It's a whirlwind romance.
That's a good way to put it.
Uh-huh.
All right. That's where we're going to end the stream, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in to watch us, and extra special thank you to everyone who sent in super chats, and to Jane for being a patron and sponsoring our live stream. We will see you all tomorrow to talk about Visions.
Bye.
Bye.